Hello and welcome. I'm glad to have you here. Let me start by asking you a very simple and honest question. Do you truly want to live a medication-free life? Not just that you talk about it, not just that you hope for it, but to actually live it. I ask this because there is a difference between wanting freedom and being ready to take the responsibilities that freedom requires. Many people say they want to stop taking medications, but very few people are willing to stop living like people who are sick. So before we go further, I want you to understand that this presentation is not for people who want better management. It is for people who want total restoration of their health and well-being. If taking medications every single day makes you feel like a prison, keeps you frustrated, and you're tired of this, and somewhere deep within you, you still feel that your body is capable of more, then you're in the right place. What I'm going to be sharing with you applies to you even if you have been labeled with high blood pressure, with diabetes, with heart disease, with chronic joint disease, with digestive disorders, with sexual disorders, with heart or liver or kidney disorders. Basically, any problem that has been in your body for a sustained period of time, or any disease that is labeled as chronic. What I'm going to be sharing with you will challenge everything you know about disease, about symptoms, and about healing itself. So I need you to pay attention. I know exactly how taking medications every day feels. There is this deep fear that what if your medications finish and you don't have the next dose? What if you forget the next dose of medications? You are not able to live your life freely, travel safely, travel freely, or do anything without planning your medications. There is always that fear that what if the medications stop working? What if the condition that you are experiencing gets worse? But somewhere within you, you still feel like there can still be a solution for you. However, there are so many thoughts and ideas that you have been fed with, that your condition is for life, that your condition is genetic, that you have to take medications forever, that nothing can be done about it, you cannot recover completely from it. They say your organs are damaged and many more. These ideas are making it hard for you to believe that it is even possible for you to heal and to recover. But let me give you this perspective. Not everyone with the same diagnosis suffers the same fate. Not everyone with the same genes develop the same conditions. Not everyone labeled as chronic deteriorates. Not everyone remains on medications forever. There are always exceptions. And as long as there are always exceptions, then you can become an exception if you understand the principles. Many people don't heal not because healing is impossible, but healing requires a new interpretation of your body and what your body is experiencing. You cannot solve a problem with the same mentality that created or maintains that problem. I know this because for 3 years of my life I was on medications until I began to reinterpret the symptoms that I was experiencing, until I began to reinterpret the concept of disease. From that interpretation, I understood that my body was not broken. My body was weakened, my body was overwhelmed, and it was trying to respond intelligently, but I interpreted it wrongly. I went through all of this despite being a medical doctor. Today, I'm a holistic healing mentor, and I've guided thousands of people to live medication-free lives. I have worked with people with high blood pressure, with diabetes, with heart disease, with chronic joint disease, with digestive disorders, with liver disease, and many other diseases to be able to live a medication-free life. I am the founder of Fortenon Food Medicine, which is a movement built on the principle that the body is capable of healing itself naturally once provided with the right natural resources. Before you understand healing, you need to understand exactly what the body is experiencing. Humans do not suffer from many diseases. Humans suffer from one disease, which is called internal weakness. Internal weakness is a dysfunction that occurs in your cells, your tissues, and your organs. This dysfunction is what opens the door for other things to happen. Your body by itself has a very sophisticated intelligence that does not allow anything that is damaging to go through. Once your body reaches a point where damages begin to occur, it means that there was a weakness that permitted the damage to go through. Every single day we're exposed to conditions that could give us life-threatening diseases, but we do not develop these life-threatening diseases despite being exposed to these conditions, because the body is still at its maximal functional capacity. Internal weakness is the real condition that humans suffer from. Internal weakness is caused by two things. The first is nutritional imbalance. And when we talk about nutritional imbalance, we mean that your body is receiving inadequate amounts of structured water and fiber. Every nutrition, every diet that is inadequate in terms of structured water and fiber creates an imbalance within the body. And this physical imbalance within the body opens the door for infections to progress, opens the door for cellular damage to take place. It is this open door that now permits diseases like high blood pressure, like diabetes, like chronic joint disease, like brain disease, like digestive disorders, and all other disorders to be able to take root in the body. The second cause of internal weakness is stress adaptation imbalance. Stress adaptation imbalance is the inability for you to process stress. Stress adaptation imbalance is the inability for you to recover from stress. When we talk about stress, stress does not mean something that is troubling you, or you are not stress. Every time you think, you are stressing. Every time you perform a physical activity, you are stressing. Every time you feel sad or you feel happy, you are stressing. You need to recover from that condition. When your body is unable to recover from your daily activities, then you enter into a state called stress adaptation imbalance. And it is this imbalance that creates the foundation of dysfunction in the body. This dysfunction now opens the door for various diseases to develop in different organs in the body based on which organs are the weakest at the moment. Internal weakness does not appear in one day. It requires consistent nutritional imbalance and consistent stress adaptation imbalance for internal weakness to set in. Once internal weakness sets in, there are internal manifestations and there are external manifestations. For the internal manifestations, two things generally happen. There will be an increased accumulation of toxins in the body. More toxins will begin to accumulate in the body. And secondly, there are greater chances of parasites and microorganisms that are infectious and damaging begin to also accumulate in the body. These are the two major things that occur that show that your body is experiencing an internal weakness. Accumulation of toxins that your body is naturally able to excrete them, and accumulation of parasites that are infectious or disease causing. When the body is no longer able to manage the toxins, manage the accumulation of parasites, then the body activates an emergency response system. This emergency response is what we experience as symptoms: elevated blood pressure, elevated blood sugar, pain, headaches, inflammation, diarrhea. These are not signs that your body is failing. These are signs that your body has activated an emergency response to manage a dysfunction. These symptoms are medically grouped together to come out with what are called diseases. So diseases, or the labels, disease labels, are simply a grouping of these symptoms that we observe. Generally, what we call diseases are the observable manifestations of internal weakness. At this point, we need to ask ourselves a very important question: why does the body develop external manifestation of the internal weakness? Why does the body develop observable signs of disease? It is because your body is trying to draw your attention to the fact that it has activated an emergency response against a problem. Normally, your body can eliminate toxins without activating an emergency response. Normally, your body can eliminate parasites without activating an emergency response. Once your body reaches a point where it begins to draw your attention by showing you signs and symptoms, then your body is crying for help. Your body is asking for your support to support it as it manages this situation through this emergency response and eventually solve the underlying problem, which is the internal weakness. What determines whether any condition becomes chronic is how you interpret and respond to the situation. Your interpretation and response determines how soon your body is going to heal or how chronic your body is going to heal. The reason you're still experiencing chronic illness is due to the interpretation and the response that you give whenever you experience a condition in your body. If you experience signs of any disease and you become afraid, that disease will become chronic. If you experience signs of any disease and you suppress it or you fight it, either with medications or any other situation, that disease will become chronic. If you experience signs of any disease and you ignore it, then the chances of that disease becoming chronic becomes very high. The interpretation and response that you give to any sign of disease determines whether that problem goes away or that problem becomes a part of you. If a disease stimulates fear in you, if a disease causes you to suppress it, if a disease causes you to ignore it, then those are signs that you are permitting that disease to become chronic in the body. Until you're able to solve the problem of internal weakness, then every solution is just a temporary solution. The real solution are the things that will address the problem of internal weakness, which has to do with nutritional imbalance and stress adaptation imbalance. This is where my unique two-step solution for healing comes in. The first step is using food as medicine. Healing begins with food, not with tablets or pills or supplements. Healing starts with food. The food that you eat when your body is undergoing healing cannot be the same food that you eat generally. Your body cannot heal effectively on your usual or regular food. The healing diet is different from the regular diet. Many people make this error that once they are in a state of healing, they want to continue to eat the same things that they are used to eating even while the disease was developing. There are certain foods that, as good as they are, they may instead play the role of slowing down your body's healing process. To address the problem of nutritional imbalance, that is why I created the 6-10 diet protocol. The 6-10 diet is a simple and consistent diet which is based on consuming 10 carefully selected food items from 6 food groups. These food groups are the greatest healing food groups. The 6-10 diet is selected from fruits, non-starchy vegetables, nuts, seeds, spices, and herbs. Other food groups like grains, like starchy vegetables, like beans and lentils, like animal products are not included in the 6-10 diet protocol. The 6-10 diet protocol is not about restriction, it is about signaling to the body that it is time for healing. And healing does not happen by overloading the body with so much variety. Healing happens by offloading the body. For many people, even without solving the problem of stress adaptation imbalance, just by placing them on the 6-10 diet, they are able to create noticeable changes in their health and well-being. Once the problem of nutrition has been put in order, then the next step is to solve the issue of stress adaptation imbalance. Solving stress adaptation imbalance is all about relaxation. Relaxation is a powerful tool for healing and restoration. It helps the body to recover from stress. Once you have your personalized 6-10 diet prescription in place, the rest of the program has to do with working on your stress adaptation imbalance. This has to do with things like your quality of sleep, your level of physical activities, your exposure to nature, and the acts of showing love. Once this is combined with the right diet, the body is strengthened internally, and this internal strengthening of the body will give you the chance to be able to live a medication-free life. This is the truth that nobody tells you. The situation you are experiencing is not a disease. It is just a sign, a manifestation of the fact that your body is internally weakened and your body is calling for your help. Your body is crying for help. Your body is drawing your attention. The real question is, will you listen to your body and restore the communication, or will you continue to suppress your body with medications, ignore your body, or misinterpret your body? The foundation of healing is a communication between you and your body. Once this communication is restored, then it becomes very easy to always restore your body back into a state of internal strength by solving every imbalance that could affect your body. If what I've shared with you makes sense, I want to invite you to join my 10-week holistic natural healing program. However, I don't admit everybody into my 10-week holistic healing program. I only admit those who have proven their seriousness and readiness to restore their health. To demonstrate your seriousness and readiness for your healing, you have to start by applying for your personalized 6-10 diet prescription. I'm going to personally prescribe your 10 healing foods that you consume consistently every day for 6 days a week. You have 1 day a week, which is a free day. When you apply for your personalized 6-10 diet prescription, you are going to receive 3 bonuses. The first bonus is 2 weeks of guided medical follow-up. The second bonus is my book, The 6-10 Diet Protocol, which is going to be a powerful asset for you both during the program and after the program. And the third bonus is a 12-month access to my private Fortenon community. With just 15,000 francs, or the equivalent in your local currency, you're going to receive your personalized 6-10 diet prescription. During these 2 weeks, you are going to see the power of using food as medicine through the 6-10 diet prescription. Thereafter, if you are satisfied and I am satisfied with your level of readiness and willingness to go through with the program, Then we can talk about enrolling you in my 10-week holistic healing program. Your body is not broken. Your body is communicating. The question is not whether healing is possible. The question is, are you willing to stop managing sickness and start restoring internal strength? Click on the link below to apply for your personalized 610 diet prescription, which is the first step towards restoring internal strength and eliminating chronic illness. Your body is ready. The question is, are you ready?